Morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Long Dark. A game that, despite the screen that you're seeing right now, is not at all cozy. Well, except on rare occasions, which don't apply to Interloper at all. So what's the situation? The situation is that the mission to go and pick up the bear meat has been continually having to be put off due to weather conditions. So I resorted to making a couple of fishing tip-ups and trying to get some stock of fish in that will last me a few days, maybe or maybe not sufficiently long. But the main mission isn't actually to pick up the bear meat, although I would still like to do that, even if it does mean I'll probably have to kill 3 wolves along the way. The main mission is to go back to the ravine, pick up the cured guts and skins there, then go back to Carter Hydroelectric Dam, pick up all my crafting materials, come back to the camp office, and do my crafting here. That's the plan. How much of that will actually be done today, I do not know, but we shall see. And hello, Danny, how are you doing? Hello, Peanut, Lola, and Earl, not necessarily in that order. How are your furry overlords today? So right now, I am hopefully going to dash back to the fishing hut and continue fishing. How am I? I'm doing all right. For some strange reason, 2 of my recent shorts have really taken off, and no really good reason. What's... well, Lola probably doesn't know how to open the door, and anyway, getting you to do it would be your role as her minion. But no, on a purely channel-related note, I used YouTube's thumbnail generation capability, which is surprisingly good if you nudge it in the right direction. And ever since I did that, my most recent, not my most recent, one of my most recent videos seems to have taken off with a lot of rewatching, as something like 186% viewer retention, which apparently is a thing. I checked. Anyway, let's get on with this. Let's see if I can survive the trip. Right, this is where we left off. And that's the fish I've got. Just need to make sure that... Okay, that's what I'm going to cook. So let's dash back to the fishing hut. Oh, that is highly offensive, Danny. How dare you sneeze in an unexpected fashion? And as far as any local wolves are concerned, I must stink like a ferret. And I've got to hope that I can find the fishing cabin. And there may or may not be a wolf around here. If you see me respond to a jump scare, then there was a fishing cabin around here. A fishing cabin had a wolf around here. I ought to put a... I'm hoping this is the right way. Yep, it is. I'm picking up the ruined torches. Oh, this looks very cozy. Ah, yes. Okay, that worked. Ah,
pack is getting kind of heavy.
I know there are people who will probably think I'm lazy for using um, the well, it's the AI system, isn't it, to generate thumbnails? But I don't have the artistic ability, and the good thing about it is it does actually use my content to generate it. It's even used my own narration on one occasion, which I was very surprised at. So probably not going to use it too much for the live streams, but for the short videos, I think I might well use it. And I do have a stash of water in here, so you can see it's midday. I really ought to consider moving that webcam image, except for the fact that I like it where it is, because when I address the camera's right above my pretty face. What have I got? I do have a bit of wood and I've got some sticks. Okay. The bedroll has been fixed. Is there anything I can do while I'm... And I still got a couple of fishing hooks, which is good. Try and do 3 things at once. If Interloper has taught me anything, it is do 3 things at once at any one time if you possibly can. Okay. And general policy is if the torch is above 30%, keep it. Alright, let's see. If anybody was wondering why I'm simply not leaving the meat on me, it's because Eugene scared the hell out of me when he said apparently people have been attacked in the hut while they're asleep if they've actually got fish on them. Although why having fish on you compared with having cooked items next to you makes a difference, I don't know. So this is the coziest moment we're likely to get. This is as cozy as the game gets. Unless you're watching the original soundtrack.
I need to drop something.
Morning, Eugene. Yes, I thought it was amusing. Given that a fair chunk of the game is going to be fishing, I tried to come up with something, and fishing for compliments was the best I could come up with. Thank you. Needless to say, I made it back with the uncooked wolf meat intact. So, and I don't have any food on me. But I am getting a little stash of fish. And yes, spare water is in the cupboard. Bedroll is fully repaired, or mostly repaired. I've got the uncooked wolf meat with me, so I can cook that up. Yeah, and the oil. Yes, of course. Just a cozy day in the long dark interloper. The coziest time I'm likely to get. Okay, is there anything else I can do while I'm at it? That's... yeah, I don't have really leather for that, do I? I am reluctant to use my cloth at the moment. At some point I can see I'm going to have to do missions just to pick up cloth. I know, I'm keeping an eye on the stove. I hope. I am going to be here a while. Well, this is also the point. Although, given the amount of time I've been spending wandering through frozen blizzards lately, you'd think it would give me a bit of a break from that, wouldn't you? Of course, what I got to do is survive the trip back and forth, taking this lot with me. So how's everybody doing today? Trying to find a second job. Good luck with that. My son has elected to spend the time between A levels, sorry, finishing his A levels and exam results, he's actually looking for a job as well. Just until essentially the A level results get out, because I think it's sort of immediately after that he's off to Hong Kong with his mother.
Too heavy.
Hi, at Laxity, how are you doing? No, he's my second ex-wife is from Hong Kong. She's Cantonese, and so while it would be very interesting, he could have. I don't think they ever considered getting him into the university there. The university in Hong Kong, I think, is best known for science and technologies, whereas my son wants to do sports science. And that would be really, really expensive. Wishful thinking, probably. I'm pretty certain I'm pretty certain I got most of these. I don't actually have any charcoal on me, so I can't do that. No, I think I got them. What I might do is, once this is finished, put some more water on, do a dash back with the meat I've got, seeing as it looks like I could make it.
Too much stuff to carry.
Oh my goodness. The kind of jobs my son is looking for don't really require him to be... Yeah, he's only going to be doing them for about 8 weeks. And so they don't exactly require a huge amount of qualifications. The funny thing is, he and I are actually sharing a similar experience. In between my taking my A levels and heading off to university, the first thing I think I did, my brother and I went up to Scotland hitchhiking for a couple of weeks, which was interesting. Hitchhiking in the Highlands of Scotland. And when I got back, basically found that I wasn't going to get into university anywhere because my degrees, my exam results were somewhat terrible. So I actually started a job filling shelves at a supermarket, thinking, okay, it's going to take a year. You know, I'm not getting into university anytime soon. So I thought, okay, well, so at least I'll have some way of making some money and taking an involuntary gap year. So I went to the local. I think I literally just walked into the supermarket and they said, fill out this form. Oh, that's a good idea. Well, never mind. So I started filling out the form, which had this tiny little space for your qualifications. And I said, do you really want all my qualifications? And they said, well, how many have you got? And I said, 7 O levels. Was it 7 or 9? I can never remember. I think it was 7. 7 or 9 O levels and 3 A levels. And they said, first comment was, yeah, I think we're a bit overqualified for the job. And then they said, just put down 7 O's and 3 A's. That will be fine. And it was this tiny little
I might have to drop some gear.
tiny little space for qualifications. Now, one of the jobs my son's actually applying for is a delivery driver. He does have his driver's license. So, hopefully, that will suffice. I mean, give him some driving experience. My first real driving experience was when I got my first car. That's not a bad idea. I must admit, if I could kill the bear that might be in that direction, I would abandon the idea of going backwards and forwards. I've got a suspicion that might... Well, I did it once, so I suppose I can easily do it again. Now, Burbot doesn't give you any vitamin C for some strange reason, but still. Oh, tip up activated. And the reason I keep popping out of here is because I am somewhat concerned that something might sneak up on me, but nothing seems inclined to. There's a chance we could see the bear itself, because it should come across my field of view over there at some point. And that would be interesting if that were to occur. don't know that I got enough wood to make it completely through the night, but given that I've spent this entire time either cooking food or cooking water, hopefully I will have enough for a few days. I've got a friend in Malaysia who is currently, she basically spent, I mean, she's not old, I think she's what, 24? But she spent the previous, oh grief, I don't know how long, since she was, what, 16, 18, working in retail, and then decided to go for a diploma in business management, which is working quite well for her. So the good news is that's actually landed her a job over the summer with her father's, the company her father works for. And it is, you know, education adjacent, so she's learning an awful lot from that. Okay, I'll take that under advisement. Yeah, I know. Stove is fine. I don't actually have a lot of wood. This is about all the wood I've been able to gather. Unless I go over there and hack up that, but that's going to take too long. Yeah, that's a valid point. I mean, it still worked out in the end. I still got the bear. Let's just put this oh, that's where it puts them. What happened to that piece of wolf meat? Oh, I ate it. I thought there was more there. Oh, there it is.
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
Try and put this in a position where I can actually find the stuff. Now that's in the way. Yeah, wind chill is -16.
It's getting dark out here. Time to look for shelter.
So here's the thought. Should I dash for home? I do not.
Something's gotta go.
Ah. Yeah, this does not look like... Actually, it looks like a potential blizzard more than anything else. Oh, good God, what was that? Something just went dong in my ears and scared the crap out of me. Come on.
Something's making me feel tired.
There's the bear.
Someplace to escape this cold.
I chose the wrong moment. Should have stayed until he... Bear's on the ice. It's official.
Too cold to think. I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Right. Home sweet home. The deer hide's cured, the wolf hide's cured. Oh, making progress, and we are definitely making progress. Yeah, that. Oh no, I mean it was a bit late in the day, to be honest. I'm not doing that in full darkness. We are slowly getting crafting supplies. All I've got to do now is move everything over from all I need to do is get all the rest of my supplies here. I still remember the very first time I shot a bear, it ran away from me. Second time I tried that trick, it mauled me to death. Well, nearly mauled me to death. Right, let's feed up. So do I. It's just that this time I didn't. Oh, 62 days. I thought it was slightly more than that. Right. And there wasn't an aurora. Well. Oh, okay. So the downside is obviously freezing. The upside is it's a clear day. The other upside is I've got enough food for a day or two. So here is the question. Here's the question. Now, if I go back to Forlorn Muskeg, I'm going to have to go through up to 3 wolves. Nah, I wouldn't have made this without you, Eugene. I'm just doing what you tell me. So, again, here's the question. Do I try and go and get the bear meat from the Forlorn Muskeg? Bearing in mind there's certainly 1 wolf along the way. And possibly 3. But there shouldn't be a bear. That's one option. The other option is I go over the mountain, go to the ravine, and then start collecting my stuff to bring it back. Those are my 2 choices. Right now, in principle, it's too windy for a torch. It might change, it might not, but it is still too. This is, you know, lethally cold. Yeah, that's not going to give me. One thing for sure is that bear meat will be, at the very best, rancid by the time I get to it, which doesn't matter. I can still cook it and make it edible. And it's going to stay there a while. But I do desperately need to get all my crafting goodies. And by the way, I should point out that you will notice the fishing for compliments has already started working. How much cloth have I got? Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking, because that's going to be constant. That's going to be there weeks from now. And you'll notice I've gone through nearly all my cloth. I hope I've got some cloth in here. Yes, I do. Alright, let's fix the bare minimum. Haha. Okay. Everything is actually not too bad. What is my... I've only got 13 in storage. Once I get a bunch of guts, I'm not going to worry too much. I'm just going to get myself up to 20 degrees. Good news is I can use fishing line. Oh, it's going to be lots of little bits, isn't it? What's my ear temperature? No, that's good. I need... Yeah, that's a valid point. I'm thinking... What's the most valuable things? The combat should be fine. Oh, no. That's the last of my leather. 20 degrees. Okay, that was my goal. 20 degrees. Let's see. Let's see what we've got outside. Windy. But acceptable. I could conceivably make it. What do we think? I'm going to need to take some food with me. No, I've got enough for the night, haven't I? Alright, this is where we go. I think... So... Maybe. I've gotten past... Yeah, I know. I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. If I go over the top, I might be able to run. The weather might change. He might not be there. It's all of these mights, isn't it, you see? push come to shove, given that I absolutely have to have my stuff, I'm going to get a blizzard, aren't I? Oh Lord, yes. Look at the temperature. No, this would kill me if I headed out now. Yeah, the moment I step out. Oh no, 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 no. That's not. My acceptable. Yes, but I know. It's a six of one, half a dozen of the other. I've got to make the trip. And I can't light a torch. If I absolutely had to, I could use a flare to get past him, which is non-desirable, but I could do that. I can't go in this anyway. That's the problem. I mean, look at that. You can see the cold killing me as I stand here. Two bars down, I'll think, okay, yeah, I can maybe give it a bash, but that's going to kill me as soon as look at me. I've been outside, stuck my nose out for a very short time, and I'm in potential trouble. What time of day is it? It's midday. Don't have a free fire. Don't want to use a match. I've got loads of water. I'm going to have to just wait it out. Okay, let's see what I've got that I can do something about. I can drop the wood, maybe. Two. I've got 2 guts cured, but that's not enough to fix anything because I need rabbit skin. Here's what I've got here. 2 guts, cured wolf pelt, and a cured deer hide. I still have both my fishing tip-ups and both my fishing tackle. I've still got those. Yeah, this is almost cured, but again, I need the skins from the dam. That's the problem. Oh, that's a thought. Don't anybody ask the question, how is it you're able to carry this thing? The answer is, you don't want to know. I shouldn't. This is dying. How fast do these deteriorate? I've never had to consider deterioration before. Is it best to store these in drawers, or store them outside, or store them on the floor? Where's my fishing? Oh, I've got the better fishing line. Where's my hooks? I'm going to keep the water upstairs for the simple reason that tends to be where I need it, because that's where I sleep. And yes, I know I could bring this downstairs. I like to have this by the fire, so to speak, so no, I'm happy with that there. Nope. I think I've cut up everything. Okay, so in a container they are. Alright, let's see what it's like outside. Oh, this is not better. This is still freeze me to death weather. Ah. Oh, that's a find. I don't know if I need to do that. I don't have enough. I'm very tempted to head for the I'm very tempted just to head for the dam, but I mean, if you look at that cold, I've already grabbed the sticks locally, and the wolf will stop me from going that way, and I can't light a torch. I got the sticks from over there. I'm gonna have to. Oh, there's one. I've literally gotten. I've gotten all the loose sticks I can. And I know that's not optimum. I know that's not optimum. Hang on a minute, did I? I didn't know there was a metal container there. Oh, it got warmer. It got warmer.
Can't feel my hands.
Right. Now I may have a plan. Give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to take a quick break before what might be the interesting bit, and then we shall see what happens. But I am warming up. It's getting warmer out there. Right, I'm just going to eat what I can. I'll drop that outside. Chug some water. And warm up. Oops, sorry. Fortunately, I don't have to wait the whole hour. Oh, this is nice weather for this. Do I want to light a torch before I go? I can light a torch on the way. See if I can remember my way around. Yep, it is. I'm not sure I want to. Ah. Why do I want to free fire? A torch? Yeah, that will help. I can't find a place to... Yeah, that's... I can never remember my way. Want to go past the cave on this side, ideally. No, I don't want that confusion. I think I've lost my chance at a free fire. Yes, I lost my chance. Darn. Never mind. Sorry. Oh, I should not have come up here. Hello. Oh, blast, I went the wrong way. Yeah, I went the wrong way. And I've lost my chance for a fire. Trapped. I could have had a torch the entire way. Oh well. The stream is going technically just fine. In terms of gaming, that is a different question. This is Interloper MX Darling, or should I just say Darling? Problem is, whenever I say Darling, I am always reminded of Blackadder Goes Forth and Colonel Melchett talking to Captain Darling. If you haven't seen Blackadder, you may or may not like it. Americans don't necessarily seem to get Blackadder. I have gone, I do not know where. Where am I? Ah, I need to head off this way. Yeah, well, with the assistance of Eugene in chat, I have made it to 63 days. And now I am in a bit of a problem because I'm gone the wrong way. Have I gone the wrong way?
Cold is making my head feel thick.
It's got to be up this way. Yeah, but there's the wolf along the way. That's the thing. If I can go up and around, that would be preferable. This is the second time I've gotten lost going this way. Yeah.
Die if I don't warm up soon.
Oh, brother. I have done something particularly daft here. And I don't want to face the wolf. If I had actually got the free fire at the very moment that I could, I would have torches and I would be fine, but I didn't, and then was not able to. Oh, I'm gonna have to just... I'm just gonna have to... Mind you, this is not that far from where I would have come out anyway. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to do this. And to think, if I'd done this properly, I would not be in this amount of trouble. Temporarily. So I need to bring all of this with me, plus everything I've got in here, plus everything I've got elsewhere. Yeah, I know, I saw him. So, I got two choices now. I could actually head for...
Too heavy.
Almost did it. Almost did it. It's almost tempting to light a fire just so that I can get that done. Oh, look, I've got coal here. Almost done. You'll have them in the morning.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Of course, if I get really lucky and we have an aurora. Oh yeah, let's let's not go into the irrationality of some of the things that we can do. Aha! We have an aurora. This is why I did a 4-hour sleep, just on the off chance that I can do this. Yeah, I'm going to. I can fix one thing, which will be hat. And I can't repair those. Yeah. Oh, valid point. Sorry, hadn't considered that. I can... Hang on. Where... Oh. I don't know that I've got the means for that, have I? I do. I'm not sure if that was a wise thing to do or not. Okay. And that is... That's all the arrows I can make for now. Why aren't arrowheads a crafting component? Right. Getting there, getting there, getting there. I got 3 more arrows out of that. I've only lost 1 arrow so far. I've broken a couple, but... So we'll hopefully dash for the cave in the morning. I'm going to lose my... Oh, I don't really need that. Yeah, I think... Oh yeah, so it is. Didn't bring enough water. Maybe. Well, yeah, that is also a thing. I mean, let's not go into the yeah, all the details that accrue. Oh no, it's a blizzard. The good news is, if it's a blizzard, there's no wolves. The bad news is, I'll just freeze to death faster. And I didn't bring anything except those cattails with me because I didn't want to smell too much. Huh. Yeah, it's gonna do me. So, I don't have any guts, but I've got gut back at the other place. I have sticks and stuff. What did I do with my jeans? I must have put them away. Don't think there's anything I can craft, but I am starting to get there. Once I get that wolfskin coat, things will be a bit better. Deerskin boots. Getting there. Slowly getting there. All I need now is a break in the weather. Let's at least make sure I get a full night's sleep. This would kill me as soon as look at me. I should have brought meat with me, shouldn't I? I actually had the thought that I would dash into the ravine, but I didn't. Instead, I made there's absolutely no food around here right now. Unless I get lucky in the ravine. But for that, I'd have to go to the ravine in the middle of a blizzard. I don't want to go into the middle of a blizzard. Actually, I don't mind going into the middle of a blizzard as long as it's not going to kill me. I mean, in Interloper, arguably, blizzards are a good thing. I have made use of blizzards in Interloper because I knew the wolves went around. But when it's this temperature as well, what can I do while I'm at it? Don't really need to do that. That strikes me as being a waste of time. I know, I'm looking into these things as though there's going to be something that will help. How come I only get one cloth? At this point, I could do that. Oh no, it's green. At least I can hear the blizzard in here. Ah! Blizzard stopped. And it's not too cold. Yeah. Okay. All I gotta do is dodge past the wolf. And I know, apparently there's a way I can get over there, but I have not yet found it. I've got to come back. One way or the other, I've got to come back. So I might as well, yeah, just... just in case. I've got guts in here, remember? I am picking up that. Ooh, I left water behind.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
I can afford to spend a couple of minutes just getting myself slightly warmer. Don't worry, I'm not actually going to spend a lot of time doing this. There we go. Just to get myself warm. Free fire! Free fire. Oh, it's not a very good fire. Well, that'll do.
I need to drop something.
But yeah, if I come across birch bark, which I did, and I did pick it up, so nobody gets to yell at me about that much. I've got more than enough sticks. Probably don't need the reclaimed wood, but well, I may have gotten it by the time that you said that, so I picked up 5 birch bark plus the one I already had on me, so. Oh, I forget. It always uses the best. Dash to the trailer. Pick up my stuff from there. Dash.
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
Yes, there is, but it's normally back the way I came. Sorry, it's further into the area. And yeah, you're absolutely right. But didn't leave anything useful here. Oh, I did. I left the wood. Oh. Gonna need the boots. Alright, let's dash across the other side. I am going to be significantly overloaded, I know. But I want all this stuff and I don't feel like making a second trip. And the weather's good enough and warm enough that I've got a halfway decent chance of making this. What do you reckon, Eugene? Go up over the mountain rather than along by the wolves? Or is it not really going to make a huge amount of difference? Right, that's all my stuff. Now I get to crawl back. Yeah, I've got no run capability, but I've got everything. And I'm not stinky, and I've got time. Worst case, I'll pull up a flare just to get this stuff back. I don't want to go over the mountain because that takes time, but on the other hand, it's not that cold, so I could do it. And on the other hand, I will almost certainly hurt myself severely.
This gear's starting to slow me down.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking, and that assumes I don't do my usual thing and get lost. I mean, I don't get lost per se. I know the right direction to go and this kind of thing. Just... I'm not stopping for acorns. I'm not stopping for anything except getting back. And I know the torch is about to go out. But there should be a fire, actually.
All I can think about is food.
I have enough wood. I can light a fire on the way. And there should be a suitable spot for that. Because I did have a fire over in this direction. Hands up who thinks I'm going to have to shoot a wolf. don't have that many torches. This is my best one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kill this one. This is making me uncomfortable. I actually got 2 shots at the wolf. Oh, now he says. Don't stop for anything. Fire. Oh, yeah. No, actually, that's a good point. Yes. Cook some more. Grab the fur. I forgot about my hunger condition. You're absolutely right. Yes. And it's not like I can't afford to build a fire. I was just going to push on, but you're right. I forgot about my own food condition.
Come on.
You did? I didn't think you said eat them, but I could be wrong.
Pretty well.
And I know you say don't use the pot, but I'm going to grab that first kilo, cook that, and then do some more. And I should have done...
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Honestly, I was focused on the wrong thing. I focused on...
Right about now.
That was not the wisest move I've ever made, I know. Oh, Mr. Wolf, you're Sacrifice is much appreciated.
It's dusk, so night can't be far behind. Feels like a lot of gear.
I am slowly, and you have to understand, coming from Stalker, where I could just crouch and shoot the wolf. I didn't. Most of the time I would hit the wolf, and I got used to that. My wolf, what was my dead wolf count in my last Stalker run? It was, what, a couple of hundred? Oh, I've still got guts and a piece of wolf meat. I need the guts. But I am getting a little bit more confident about shooting wolves now in this game. I mean, Eugene has said, you know, he's had umpteen wolf encounters and only been mauled, and what, never been mauled? And I can certainly understand that. Yeah. But like I say, in Stalker, I was confident enough that I could down a wolf with one shot, or hit it, and it almost always happened. And even if it gave me a bit of a mauling, I was moderately okay because I had very good clothing. And I got used to Stalker not having to run around with a torch at all times. So, and most of the time I didn't need it. You know?
So cold.
Yeah,
Lay down
yeah.
for a bit.
But again, it's a case of what you get used to, and that's what I got used to. Yeah, but again, I had clothing that would protect me. I mean, I got mauled so many times that I didn't take much damage, or I didn't take much in the way of um I mean, in the end there, I didn't take much damage, and I didn't even have my clothing badly damaged. And I had plenty of resources to fix everything, so it was a chance I was willing to take. You know, step out onto the lake without a torch or a flare and shoot 4 wolves. I've done that. Lure them in. Okay, I granted I made sure I was in an advantageous position, but, you know, I did do it. Yeah. That's a deer. But yeah, like I said, it becomes what you're getting used to. I am just now starting to get used to the idea, oh, look, I can drop a torch and shoot a wolf. It works. And I know you wouldn't lead me astray on such a thing, but that's not the same as me knowing I personally can do it, because I have the reflexes and the coordination of a serious kick in the head.
All this gear is slowing me down.
Yes, I'm going to light a fire. Hopefully. But success.
Come on.
The plan worked. We got here.
That did it.
Well, it's not the trusting somebody enough. It's the doing. It's the actual doing of it, because it's the, you've got to go from, you've got to go. So you're carrying a torch. You've got to go from here to there to drop it. Stay where you are. Don't move. Wait. Understand how the wolf is going to act, which is basically when you aim at it, it will come for you. I know I've got water, but still. And so it all becomes, it's not about trusting somebody, although, yeah, I mean, if you were telling me about the ghost in the Langston mine, well, yeah, sorry you brought that on yourself. But it's having the coordination, and I am not confident in my coordination. Not for precise things. You know? Yeah. Right. Let's go and dump our stuff. Almost cured. How about that? We are starting to get places. Dear hide, dear hide. Right, so that's 1 wolf pelt there. 2. 3 wolf pelts. Do I only have 3 wolf pelts? 4. Okay, I've got 4. I've got 4 wolf pelts, 3 cured. That should be a good start. Oh, right. Oh, no, I mean, I've mentioned before, I've got some nerve damage in my left hand. I can get used to it. I prefer to move controls over to my mouse wherever possible. So crouch, run, that kind of thing is all on the mouse. But there are some things where it's like I have to sort of use the palm of my hand about there to hit control or this kind of thing. So, yeah. Uh, and I don't have a decent controller, and a decent controller these days is ridiculously expensive. Right, and that's all cooked. I've got enough time to make that water. I will just add. Oops, I nearly did that. So while we are waiting, oh, yeah, no, it's for me. It's yeah, nerve damage. Hope that's what it is. At any rate, feels like it. Oh, you. Now, fortunately for me, it's my left hand. If it had been my right hand, that would be really. I would have a lot of relearning to do. Yeah, getting there. Grief, I really did not do myself any favors on the. The plan worked. It actually worked. I do mean we actually got there. So now, okay, for the bearskin coat, I need another bear hide. I need 4 cured wolf pelts. I don't like using fire-hardened arrows. Do you know that? I hate using fire-hardened arrows. I don't think they're accurate. I can't aim them worth a damn. I'd do better with the full-blown arrow. And I know that's silly, but I do. Oh, I've got the stuff downstairs. Oh no. Oh, I need 5 sticks. Take 20 minutes. What happened there? Oh, blast. I went completely off or whatever. Oh, never mind. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to worry about it. It's one minor hiccup at the end of the day compared with what I've been through today. Yeah, that's true. I still think they're more accurate. I find them. I think they're more accurate. They're regular arrows. I mean, yeah, I do, but I don't need it. You know, I've got 5 liters of water plus what's on the floor. So yeah, plus what's in the fishing hut. What time of day is it? Oh, have a good long sleep. I don't need. It's not in the pot. It's in the skillet. I was using the skillet. Right. So, deerskin pants. My goodness me. I need to harvest that. I'm gonna need the leather. Yeah, I know. I should repair. I don't want to know. No, no, no. I don't want to repair that yet. Yeah, look, you see, I've got. Yeah, that's not important enough to worry about. Okay. Now, let's see. That is going to be cured soon. Yep. Not going anywhere in that. We are starting 22 degrees. That is my highest bonus yet. So, what next? The next thing I can make is boots. I can't make the wolf, but I can do the boots. And for the boots, I need deerskin boots. 2, 4, and a workbench. 1, 2, 1. Deerskin boots. And this is where I get cabin fever. Probably. Alright, what else do I need to do? right now, making my clothing should be a priority. I've got the food to allow me to do that. I can dash down to the I can get fish. So now I think prioritizing what I can make is the way to go. Let's see what the weather's doing. Me no favors is the simple answer to that. Actually, it's not too bad. Yeah, I've got enough, just about. I can make more line, I can make more tip-ups, I can take things apart, I can, yeah, I'm in a position to... Let me know if I'm doing something wrong here, but I want the boots. Because these are sustainable, and having to go and continually use leather is not. Almost there. Good job I picked up the sewing kits. It's not going to allow me to continue, is it? You're kidding me. Oh, we got an Aurora. We have deerskin boots. Yep, getting there. All I need now is the wolf. Wolfskin, what's it? This wouldn't work, of course. I can't talk to the trader. This is not that kind. Oh.
What? What the hell? Someone there? Hey, hello? Radio check. Go ahead. You better say something or getting this damn thing fixed was all a waste of time. Come in. I say again, come in. Well, I'm just a fella on the radio for now. Been on my own.
Well, that assumes I can make the trade.
Tried
But still,
Or haven't
that
you?
would be an idea. Set that up, wouldn't it?
What? You've been living in a hole in the ground out there? You're on the island, right? I haven't come across any. Well, until now. It's taken a long time, a damn long time to get this contraption working.
Once you want to bet for the matches trade, he's going to want something like, oh, I don't know, 3 car batteries. Yeah, I know.
Still there? Hello? Things are getting a little thin out here in the dark.
At least I can set up the trade.
Stuff to trade. Not much, mind you, but maybe you have some interest.
Matches?
We can work out a deal. If you can keep your word, that is.
Wolfskin hat.
Trust don't come so easy no more. Not since the lights showed up. But there's you, there's me, and there's the ice.
Oh, that's good.
We'll speak up. There's a place, a little island off Coastal Highway. A dock, an old storage box of mine.
Yeah, we know.
Use that to trade. You keep your distance, and I'll do the same. Got it?
Hey, Chris. I'm about 2 hours in.
It's not much, but it's what I've got.
Wolfskin pants. Oh, no. 3 liters of lamp oil, a car battery, and 8 cloth. That's going to take a while. What does he want for that? Cooking oil, I've got. Flour. Don't really need it. I'm not in a position to make anything, so I don't need the salt. And there is... No, that's it. That's all he's got. A car battery. The last car battery I saw was at Desolation Point. 8 cloth. 3 liters of lamp oil. Okay, 3 liters of lamp oil. Oh... That is ludicrous. That is ludicrous. Yeah, forget that.
Right.
I'll come back and see if he's got something else at some other point. Oh, look! There's still curtains here. Yeah, I know. I know. I thought I'd gotten all the cloth in here. Apparently not. Right, let's go and get some food. Yeah, the laptop. Yeah. Rather improbably, if you ask me. I'm just going to grab some food from outside. Yeah, it's not. It's simply talking about bear activity. Yeah, you can't see what it was saying before, but yeah, it's talking about bear activity. Whew. What? Is he still talking to me?
Bargain or bail, friend. I ain't got all day.
No, same lot, same as last time.
That'll do
Yep. Ah, right. That was a highly successful day. Well, looks like it could be a free fire day, maybe a fishing day. Things are looking up. I mean, it's still freezing me to death out here, so there's that. There's a deer over there. We haven't got the moose. Possibility of the bear on the lake. It's not going to give me... it's too dark, isn't it? Actually, what do I need a fire for?
Looks like a new day is dawning.
You're kidding me. Alright, what do I need a fire for? Seriously, what do I need a fire for right now? Oh, it's too windy. Yeah. Well, look, I've actually got to take a screenshot.
Can't feel my feet.
Widescreen. I've actually got to take a quick break. I'll be right back. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to try and decide what we've got to do, because I've made more progress today than I thought I would. So, be back in a couple of minutes. Right, I'm back. Yeah, that should have occurred to me. Hello, I just had a very funny dong in my ear, and I'm not sure whether that's because it reconnected or not. Chris, 4x3 or 16x9, matter of personal preference. I guarantee there will be people who prefer 14x3. Sorry, 16x9, and I guarantee there are people out there who prefer 4x3. It's a matter of personal preference and what it is you're going to do with it. Personally, I think 16x9 is absolute minimum for me. But then, I love my 3-monitor setup for streaming, where I've got an ultra wide, which is what, 21x9, and then two 16x9s. And then I've got a massive 16x9. What is that? 1080p for YouTube. Hang on a second. Oh, blast. Yeah, one of my...
Damn. Freezing.
One of my earbuds decided now is a good time to stop working. Oh, come on. I've only got 2 sticks. Drat. Give me a second. Alright, give me a second while I'm going to have to try and fix... I've got one earbud working for whatever reason. This one disconnected. This one here. So I'm just going to pop these back in. This is one of the reasons I don't like wireless and I don't like Bluetooth that much. They are not reliable. But they are useful. And even though these are technically not Bluetooth, well, they're in wireless mode, it's actually Bluetooth with extra steps. Because if I were to turn to my tablet, it would treat these as Bluetooth, even though technically they're set to wireless. Don't ask. And I can't tell whether they're both working now or not. Yep, they're both working. I need more wood. Sorry. I need more sticks. What do I need a free fire for? What do I need a free fire for? Light a fire anyway, you never know, I might need it. Okay. This one is not going to work in that location.
Goddamn freezing.
Let's try back here. Oh yeah, that's absolutely true, but that is useful to know. Yeah, it's too cold to do anything. That's killing me. Okay. Inventory time. What have we got? Okay, that's all curing. That's curing. That's almost cured. I need 4 wolf pelts, so that's 1. That's 2. I thought I had 4. 1, 2, 3, Oh, yeah, okay. So I've got enough for the coat, which is useful. Is there anything else I can make right now that would help keep me alive? I don't think so. The good news is I've got enough bunny stuff. I can repair things. I could make a travois, technically. Sharpen tools. Thank you. Yes. My duration here is going to be dictated by how long my whetstone lasts, because the remainder of my whetstones are all back in Coastal Highway. Is it recommended you sharpen all the way up to 100% every time, or just something that makes you happy? Yeah, because that's the only whetstone I think I've got right now. Yeah, it is. All my other whetstones, like I say, are back in Coastal Highway. I didn't bring them all with me. What have I got in terms of cloth? I should have... Well, what I can do is make prepared birch bark. You know, if the weather continues to cooperate, going to collect some of the... going and shooting my way across Mystery Lake and Forlorn Muskeg, collecting the bear meat becomes a viable possibility. Hi, Tony. Yeah, it is. I think it's due to hit 28 degrees today. So it's not as hot as we had a few weeks ago. We got up to 30 here, I think, and 32 down south. I think, actually, I'm going to check. I think, yeah, today is due to be 24. Actually, it's not too bad. We are expecting to hit 30 tomorrow, and then it'll cool down. 30 is where we were a few days ago. Yesterday was warmer than today it's going to be, so yeah. And I think that, yep, and my earbud is doing weird things. I have a suspicion it didn't properly charge. But that's okay, because in what is becoming a regular thing, we're coming up for 2.5 hours, and I am considering a major excursion, and I don't have time left in the stream to do a major excursion. Unless, no, I mean, to go all the way to Forlorn Muskeg, shoot 3 wolves, collect everything, come back. I got a suspicion, yeah. And I am in a gooder position right now as I've ever been to make that excursion. So I think what I will do is consider, yeah, we're not going to head out now. It's going to take far too long. It'll take at least an hour tomorrow. And the free fire is helpful. So I can sort that out beginning tomorrow. Yep. So unless anybody has anything they wish me to talk about, now is a good time, because I can hit escape and not worry about a game save. And how many days are we in? Whoops, sorry. We are 66 days into the game. 66 days. 66 days, 5 wolves and a bear. And 2 deer. And 17 rabbits. And a ptarmigan. It's tempting to say that we're well underway. Well, we're getting there. We are definitely getting there. Oh yeah, my earbuds have now completely gone. Or is yeah, no, it's the earbuds that are gone. Oh, I'll tell you what. Look, I'll just pause this and seeing as I've got time to talk, I don't have time to start doing anything in the game. What do I think of the last story? And actually, I'm going to put these away, so hopefully they will recharge. And hopefully I don't have a bigger problem with these things. What did I think of the end of the story? Well, I think everybody watching probably knows what I think about it. I think it was very poorly done. I have no problem with the situation at the end. I got no problem at all with the actual situation. The circumstances with Astrid and Mackenzie. That's fine. You know, it's a bit of a cliffhanger. It sets up more of the story, maybe for Black Frost, if it ever comes out. That's fine. But the way they did it was terrible. I thought it was very poor writing. Yeah, there was a lot of contrived circumstances that needn't have been there. Like I say, they could have had the same story. It's sort of the underlying. They could have had the same underlying story. Absolutely, they could have done. No problem with that at all. They could have had the same ending. I don't have a problem with that. I don't necessarily insist on happy endings, especially when you think, oh, this might continue, you know, with Black Frost 2. Maybe. But the writing was, yeah, the writing I think was lazy. There was so much in Will Mackenzie's story that was, yeah, contrived. All his interactions with the convicts were ridiculous. Everybody's interactions with the convicts were ridiculous. Terrible. Oh, which one? The escaping from Blackrock? Oh no, the other one. Yes. Sorry. Okay, yeah. I didn't mind that so much, but it was contrived. The other thing that was very lazy, and this is not what you're supposed to do, is the massive expository lump they had explaining everything for half an hour. That is considered very poor writing. The funny thing is, one of the most famous books, arguably, if not in the world, then in the fantasy genre, has its last segment, its last chapter, which is basically a massive expository lump because the author was making up the story as he went and then had to wind the story up. So for the last part, he put in this massive expository lump which still feels off to me. Does anybody want to hazard a guess as to which book I'm talking about? Because you probably all heard of it. And the author. And the author was not a... he was an intelligent, well-educated, erudite person, you know, remarkable. Does anybody want to guess what book I'm talking about? No, not The Lord of the Rings, but you're awfully close. It was The Hobbit. The Battle of the Seven Armies in The Hobbit starts off with this huge expository lump, basically setting up the entire backstory that led to the battle. And, you know, it feels jarring. The story is that Tolkien was literally making up the story as he went for his children. Or his, I can't remember. I don't know if this is absolutely true, but the story I heard was The Hobbit was basically made up as he went along. And then when he came to closing it down, he wasn't really in a position to do it. So he had to invent this whole backstory that had been going on through half the novel. And then had to explain all that at the end. One of the things that Jackson did when he made the Hobbit trilogy, it was for his son, there you go. One of the things I think that Peter Jackson did quite well when he did The Hobbit was fleshing it out and making it into a halfway decent story. And I preferred the Hobbit trilogy to the Lord of the Rings. Shoot me in the head in the comments if you wish, but I thought Jackson's Hobbit movie was a trilogy was better than the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I thought it worked better. I thought it got fleshed out well. I think he did a very good job. It's not perfect. No, I disagree. I mean, but then again, it's an interpretation. Look, every movie that gets made out of a book is an interpretation. I can't think of a single case where that didn't happen. You can't put everything in. But no, I liked it. I liked that they had Martin Freeman as Bilbo. I thought that was halfway. I thought it was good. I didn't, mind you, here's the thing. I didn't like Elijah Wood as Frodo. I wanted to throw something at the screen every time Elijah Wood showed up. I thought Elijah Wood was dreadful. Don't think I've seen City of Ember. So, you know, I am somewhat turned off The Lord of the Rings by Elijah Wood as Frodo. That I don't know, it just grated on me something wicked. And so for me, it was awfully nice to get Martin Freeman as Bilbo, and that worked. So you know. So anyway, yeah, that's my limited opinion. I'd far rather sit down and watch the Hobbit trilogy than the Lord of the Rings. I suppose the thing is that, you know, people who are absolute fans of the novels, they're never going to like what anybody does to the treatment of the novel. Oh, they didn't do this. Oh, they didn't do that. They should, you know. I understand that. Here's another example. You've all heard of the Dune movies and the various mini-series and this kind of thing. Villeneuve's Dune movies were very good. Absolutely. Yes. Technically, story-wise, yeah, they were very good. I actually prefer the 1984 version emotionally. I think it captures the book Dune. I think it captures more of the emotion of it. And Villeneuve almost basically took the emotion and chemistry out of it, as far as I could tell. Oh yeah, no. Stephen Fry's role, many people don't realize it. They actually included emotionally, the 80s Dune movie was better. Yes, that's what I was saying. I think emotionally it was better. Villeneuve's was technically and story wise better, but the 80s version, yeah, was emotionally better. The thing about Stephen Fry's performance was that bit, there's a bit in there. It shouldn't have been in there. You can argue, yes, Stephen Fry's role didn't belong, whatever. But there's this scene in there where he's being fed his dinner by his servant, whatever his name is, and I wonder how many of you realize that's actually taken from a comedy sketch in back when Stephen Fry was much younger and working with Hugh Laurie. A little bit of Fry and Laurie. So that whole meal scene in there was basically a reenactment of something of a classic comedy sketch from, must have been the 1980s, 1990s, when Stephen Fry was working with Hugh Laurie, long before House or anything like that. So that was kind of amusing. Oh, yeah, I'm not saying that The Hobbit was perfect. The interracial love story left whatever. I don't care, really. But I'd still rather watch The Hobbit again than The Lord of the Rings. And as I said, I think mostly it's because Elijah Wood, I just hate him as Frodo. It just absolutely ruined it for me. It was like watching Jar Jar Binks. And you may think, oh, that's extreme. Jar Jar Binks was appalling. Absolutely. Yes, he was. That whole movie where they introduced Jar Jar Binks was so cringy. Well, I get a similar feeling watching Elijah Wood as Frodo. I mean, I'm kind of glad they did get English actors in there. Well, they did. I mean, these days you can't make a big fantasy epic without reaching out to the British, can you? Or Europeans, or both, depending on whether you consider the British to be Europeans or not. And I kind of do, even if I identify as English rather than British. But anyway. Smaug was good. Yeah. Yeah, he was the mayor of Lake Town. Stephen Fry was the mayor of Lake Town. Oh yeah, but we'll also ignore the fact that, yeah. Now you see, the thing is, what Jackson was trying to do was give you a coherent backstory. If you'd made the book as it stood, you wouldn't have had a backstory. You wouldn't have had any setup for the Lord of the Rings, and that people arguably would have expected. And so you would have had this it would have been far worse if he'd made it as per the book. Suddenly you'd have the Battle of Five Armies and absolutely no explanation of what was going on. What Jackson did was kind of he got rid of the expository lump and spread it throughout the entire trilogy. So, but yeah. Oh, yes. Well, yeah, you've got to bear in mind, I'm English. Being English/British, Stephen Fry is considered practically a national treasure. Now, I personally wouldn't ever say anyone's a national treasure unless it's David Attenborough, but that's me. The funny thing is, Stephen Fry is actually half Hungarian. I think I think his grandfather was Hungarian. For all that he's an English national treasure. Well, no, I'm not anymore. But I can't. Well, no, I kind of pick these things up as you go, and I develop strong opinions about some things. Um, I I ended up not really caring much about the Game of Thrones. I mean, so much that here's the thing, right? We're complaining about The Hobbit, and I've complained about The Lord of the Rings, and I can complain about The Hobbit if I'm pushed. But you could really have a serious complaint about Game of Thrones, about how much they butchered um, the books to get it into a TV series. Would it have been any better? I don't know. It was but in the end, I didn't really care that much about the Game of Thrones. I would rather read the last two novels than rewatch Game of Thrones or any of the spin-offs. I find myself, I don't care. So But they as good as it was, and I will acknowledge that Game of Thrones, the TV series, was actually pretty good. But yeah, no, in a way they couldn't do a lot of the book because people would have been horrified. And I can't even talk about some of the things in the books on a PG or PG-13 rated YouTube channel. Let's just say that most of the people in there are far, far worse than they're depicted in the TV series. And yeah, I mean, you've got to bear in mind, in the books, the Stark children are what, 13 and 14 throughout most of it? That's, it's like, what? Yeah. If you start thinking about that, it starts making you go, oh yes. Well, they kind of didn't. They kind of didn't. But yeah, and they changed a lot, but they never really. Yeah, it gets complicated. It gets complicated. The stuff that they changed, the stuff, and yet they couldn't. There were some things they had to have in there, which sort of hint at, say, Sansa's age. I'm not necessarily going to directly mention the whole thing because, again, this is a PG-13 rated channel mostly. But yeah, you could. Yeah, no, I mean, Carl. What's his name? Drogo is an appalling human being. Everybody was an appalling human being. I'm trying to think who was the closest as being a halfway decent person. Yeah, you could. I mean, there's very Lolita type elements to it. People have tried to excuse it, and there is a certain degree of historical veracity in the idea that young children would be betrothed or even married to other young children or to older women. But it wasn't necessarily 13 or 14. People like to point to Henry VII's mother, who gave birth at 14, and say, we see this was normal at the time. No, it wasn't. Henry VII's mother, whose name I forget, that was considered too young at the time, from what I gather. So yeah, there is a little bit of that aspect of George R.R. Martin. Although he's not the only one to do that kind of thing with medieval inspired fantasy or even historical medieval stuff. I'm trying to remember who it was. I mean, granted, 16, 17, 18 was considered much more reasonable, but yeah, 13 or 14, yeah, you could definitely have betrothals and marriages. Hey, but guess what? You still can. I mean, there are still places in the world where if you can get permission, you can marry a 12-year-old and younger. Anybody want to guess one of the countries where that still happens? But now we're getting into areas of politics and actually religion that I probably shouldn't. Yep. Yeah, there are half a dozen states in the United States where child marriage is legal, and I think the children can be as young as 9. And it exclusively happens within very conservative, fundamentalist Christian denominations. And you would think, would you not, that that would be the easiest thing in the world to simply say, no, this is ludicrous. Raise the age to 18 at least. Nope. It gets voted down every time someone tries to change it. I think there was a state recently, I can't remember which one, that did ban child marriage, but no, you can still. Oh, this went in directions I was not anticipating. Okay. Yeah, don't get me started talking about things. I will talk about things completely unrelated to the game. And I think there's only I want to say 8 or 9 states which actually allow it, but one of them did yeah. I think the situation was changed. Yeah. Media, yes. I feel almost guilty that I'm the one with the platform and therefore able to push my views and opinions harder than you can. I hope I will give due appreciation for your responses. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what. No, I'm not even. No, now I am starting definitely to head into directions that I probably, I think I would be ill-advised to do so. So we won't. We'll bring it to. We'll. Some of those silly. I don't know about those silly rules. Some of them are never. What? I'm not talking about. Oh, that's a reference, Chris, to some comment I made the last time you were on. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised if other games have VSync issues. I personally think the whole VSync thing is a lot more complicated than people let on. Yeah. Well, now to be honest with you, even though Bigfoot doesn't exist, I've got no problem with the idea that, if somebody's saying, well, if Bigfoot exists, should it be legal to hunt a Bigfoot? And the simple answer is no, of course not. If a Bigfoot exists, no, you shouldn't hunt them. But I know Bigfoot doesn't exist. There's yeah. Oh no! Now you're getting me into cryptozoology. Bigfoot is one of those things I like. The Loch Ness monster, I wish did exist, but scientifically I can't bring myself to believe that they do. There's no actual decent scientific evidence for the existence of Bigfoot. Oh, did I? Oh, okay. Oh, that's really unusual. Warframe doesn't normally do that. Now, having said that, I can imagine there are circumstances where that could happen. When people connect or disconnect from a session that you're in, that can cause issues. That will cause frame rate stutter and problems. So I could easily imagine that you'd get screen tear. Oh, yeah. 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 Normally, Warframe is very good. Yeah. Really? I didn't notice. I genuinely did not notice. So there's a few possibilities there. It could be the capture card that was doing it. Because I was not experienced. Wait a minute. No, last night there were a few sessions I was in where there was definitely internet related issues, and that can affect. Why would you do SLI? No, you shouldn't. I wouldn't. No, I check fairly frequently, and I don't normally see it, to be honest. And I have checked. I do know what screen tear on the long dark looks like. And all I can do is look at what I'm seeing, and yeah, I've experimented as well. And the current settings I have are the best ones for reducing screen tear. If I do what I'm supposed to, which is match the frame rate to the refresh rate, and I can do that for both the capture card and for this, the screen tear gets worse. So yeah, I'm not sure there's much I can do about it. But the long dark, no, the long dark Warframe, I'm gonna have to check. I don't get the chance to. I haven't got the time to sit down and watch 3 hours of myself. I just don't have the time. But and it could be a YouTube thing. It's not completely impossible, because they do obviously have to interpret the video and do stuff to it. Yeah. Well, here's the thing about The Long Dark. It's an old game. Now, how old is The Long Dark? 2013? 2014? Yeah, what is it? It's over 10 years old. And they've never really given you the option to turn on VSync. You just have to try and do it manually and hope everything works. Like I say, I could try. There's stuff I could try, but there are circumstances with Warframe where, like I say, if you're in a session and there are internet-related issues, it does cause frame rate stutter very clearly. You can very clearly see that, and I think it seems to be unavoidable. It's just a thing. I can always tell when someone's connected because you get the frame rate stutter. Yeah, sorry about that. Maybe everyone else is running with better equipment than I am. It's entirely possible. Or, I don't know, maybe there's some other thing. On the other hand, how many people do you watch actually use widescreen like I do? I wonder if it could be a widescreen issue. Not too many people stream widescreen, or I don't think. More likely to stream 4K, which is not widescreen. But anyway, right now I really do start to have to think about going. I need to get lunch and then I have to do other things before my afternoon nap, so that I'll take another look at the actually, let's have a quick look. I can actually have a quick look. This is 100 Ways to Die, so I don't care about this. Yeah, there is. Yes, this stagger that I'm seeing here, it is arguably worse on the capture card, but it's not as bad. Yeah, it's not as bad as it could be. Yeah, no, I've definitely. If anybody's gets nauseous easily look away. But this normally shows it up quite well, and that's about it for me. This is about as good as I can get it. If I try if I try changing the visuals to, hang on, right, if I set it to 100 frames a second, all right, now I'm matching, so now I am matching the frame rate of the refresh rate, and it has to be 100 hertz because of the capture card. Actually, that looks about the same at the moment. Actually, yeah, that looks actually. Oh no, I'm seeing it definitely. Yep. Oh no, that's worse. I don't know whether you can see it. I'm seeing. It's like, yep, there we go. Yeah, that's worse. Yeah, no, that is definitely, yeah, that's worse. Oh, I can see a shimmy there that I wasn't getting previously. The only other thing I can try and do is simply switch off the frame rate cap and see what happens then. Yeah, no, that's doing it still. Yeah, and in case you're wondering what frame rate we're getting with that, it is, let's see, in game, it is, where is it? Top left. Okay, so I'm only getting 100 frames a second. 90 odd frames a second. You're kidding me. How very peculiar. I should be managing far higher than that. Tell you what, I bet I have to restart the game. Because the GPU... Oh no, the GPU's at 100%. Okay. That's about as good as it gets in terms of frame rate at this resolution, and yeah. The video card is a AMD 7090. 16 gigabytes. So... anyway, like I say, after much work, this seems to be my best settings. Not the 1790, 9070. So that's locked at 60 frames a second. And on my screen, at least, that's a lot more stable. Yeah, that to me looks a lot more stable. Don't know. You got to remember the capture card is actually a second monitor. And that is arguably maybe not as good as the main one. Yeah. So, yeah. I must admit, I thought I could get 120 frames a second on this. That GPU is surprisingly busy. Oh, this is the far territories. That tends to be harder on the GPU, to be honest with you. Yeah. Anyway. One day I'm gonna have to finish this. Yeah, no, it's about as good as I can get. One thing to bear in mind too about the the game's frame rate does get hit differently at different places. That is the far territories. That is the zone of contamination. The zone of contamination does hammer your GPU much harder, I think, than other areas. I'm not sure if I've got anything where I can... That's my speed run. Not sure what the speed run does. This is the Mindful Cabin. This was me doing stuff. I think I can get much higher frame rates here. So let's just switch that off. Confirm. Back. Back. And let's... I'm curious to see what frame rate I get here. Oops. Same settings. In-game. Oh, that's interesting. It's not showing. It's not showing. Show performance monitor. Library. Home. The long dark. All right. There we go. Yeah, so you can see this is, this is as you can see, the Mindful Cottage, and yeah, the frame rates are significantly faster. In fact, I can hit, if I look at the sky, I can hit over 200. And yeah, I'm definitely seeing, I'm seeing some tearing there. I will keep an eye on it. What have you got? Yeah. Yeah, this is a custom mode, by the way. It works. Oh no, 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 no. No, that's terrible. I think we just have to say that Long Dark is not great at doing reducing screen tear. Yeah, that is better for me. Yeah. Yeah, you probably ought to update. You probably ought to update. Only problem is, what would you update to? If you have a DDR4 system, oh boy. You know, now you got a problem of balancing your your new graphics card and your CPU. Does my PC have a... Yeah, it's got a dedicated graphics card slot, so to speak. PCIe 16 something or other, I think. Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, I'm not running this graphics card as fast as I could, but it works. If this graphics card was on a DDR5 system, it would work better, but I doubt most people would notice. Right, I definitely do have to go and get lunch now. I was not expecting just have a chat for half an hour. So anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for listening to the Soapbox. I'm sure I'll lose subscribers when they hear some of my opinions, but okay, I can't help that. Yeah, I ought to do something where we just have that kind of chat just for the fun of it. I'm not sure what I'd do. I'd end up talking about the game or something. Maybe I'll do maybe I'll do fireside chats with Shards of Insanity. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I would set that up. I'd pick a subject to discuss. All right. Have a great day, everybody. I'll be back with Warframe this evening, and I will watch out for screen tearing on that one. Funny thing is, I can typically run Warframe at about 100 frames a second without any particular problem. But then Warframe is highly optimized, and they are working on making it more and more optimized. So, Kazay, thanks for watching. Remember to hug your fur babies, your furry overlords. And I will and I will see you all next time.